Welcome to the Virtual Coffee Lab. My name is Mike and I'm your host. Today's video is all about how I chose the best drum roaster for my home coffee roasting hobby. You may be currently roasting on something like a Beamore or a hot air popper, or maybe something in between, or even some of these stovetop type roasters that have a drum. So stick around for this video as you learn how I determine the best roaster for my home coffee roasting hobby here on the Virtual Coffee Lab. Okay, thank you for joining me. And so today I want to share with you specifically how I chose this coffee roaster. It's really interesting. There were about 7 or 8 coffee roasters that were on my radar that kind of fit most of the requirements that I had. And I actually wrote a blog article about this, and I'll share you the link in the show notes below. But I'm going to show you this little graph that I made with the features and the benefits and the roasters and the conclusion that I came to, so that you can better understand what it was that I was looking for in my hobby, as well as in comparing these different units together. So these are the 7 or 8 different coffee roasters that I was considering. So the first roaster is the FZ94, and then the Bella Mini 500, the Mill City 500 gram roaster, the US Roaster Sample Roaster, the Probat Probatino, the Gießen W1M, San Franciscan SF1, and the Dietrich IR1. I actually contacted some of the manufacturers and talked to them about their roasters. I had some very specific questions, and as you look at this list, you'll see I had some very specific requirements. Was the roaster sold in the United States? Did it have US service and support? Was it a drum style roaster? Could I plug it into the wall here at my home using 110 power? How was the roaster fueled? Was it electric, natural gas, or only propane? Did it have a adjustable gas flow? How about adjustable drum speed or adjustable airflow? Did the roaster have a chaff collector? Did it have a venting system, or is the roaster capable of adapting to a venting system? Did it have a USB data logging software connection? And was there an electric cooling tray that was included in the roaster? So using that criteria, I was able to kind of pinpoint really just the 2 or 3 roasters that I was interested in learning more about. And it was the Mill City 500 gram roaster, the Dietrich DR1, and there were a couple others that I was sort of interested in, but those were the 2 that were in the running for me. Then I contacted each of those manufacturers and I asked some very specific questions just to see how this system might work, how the roaster might work in my house. I wanted to know a little bit more about their support and give me some experiences of what could break on the roaster and how we might go about fixing that. And then ultimately, when I was done with that, it came down to the price. And you can see in my comparison sheet, there were some big differences in price. So I ended up choosing the Mill City 500 gram roaster. Now, I want to stop right there and just tell you that this is not a paid promotion. I'm not receiving anything from Mill City. I paid for this roaster in full, and I've had several years of experience with this roaster and with Mill City, and I have nothing but good to say about my experience. That's why I'm sharing it with you, and I'm encouraging you, if you're looking for a drum roaster, there are a lot of different drum roasters on the market, but the best value price equation, when you take all that into consideration, for me, my best choice was the Mill City 500 gram roaster. Now, since the time that I purchased this roaster, this is a 2nd generation roaster. They have a new generation roaster. It's a little taller than this one, has a couple of extra features on it, but basically the functionality of the roasters are the same. And so in my next video, I want to share with you the kind of the walk around. I want to actually show you the features and how it works, and then we'll actually start to talk about the maintenance, and I'll do a video on maintenance. I'll be roasting coffee with the roaster, and we'll have a whole bunch of other videos that we'll deal with specifically related to the Mill City 500 gram roaster. I've been roasting some great coffee for the last few years on this roaster. So that's why I made the decision to get this roaster. I would encourage you to ask questions in the comments. If you have questions about choosing the right roaster, I'll give you my opinion. Or if you have questions specifically about the roaster that I have here, I'll try to do the best that I can to answer your questions as well. So I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you at our next video here at the Virtual Coffee Lab.